There was always that fear that we'd get them in trouble, so we never rode. And I think at some point they must have found out where we were, but there was no contact, except one time. One time, my uncle that I lived with in the war was a doctor. He did get out for a conference in Munich, and my parents were in Munich, and he wrote them, or somehow they were able to communicate. And he said, "Is there anything you want that you left behind?" A couple of things. Even though we hadn't told anybody, my mother did tell him that we were going to leave. And he said, "If there's anything you really want, bring it to our house and we'll keep it for you." So when my parents said, was there anything that we really wanted to have if we ever came back, I decided to pack up my glass menagerie. I left, and it was taken to my uncle's house where I had lived in the war. Then in the middle of the 1970s or so, I think it was in the early 70s, he was able to go out, to get out of the country, to go to a medical conference. And he was able to go to Munich. And somehow he was able to communicate with my parents, and he asked, "Is there anything I can bring?" And they said, "Bring Barbara's menagerie if you can," and he did. So this is extremely precious. And now I've added to it a little bit since. And now my grandsons adore this menagerie. And they're so good, they kneel and just look and study and gaze at these wonderful blown glass figurines.
So these are examples of Czech glass.
Exactly. Well, now there's some other things there too, but mostly they're Czech blown glass.